I had the new Zoologist Beaver Maple Edition. So, not the original Beaver, but the one after that, I believe. I I would put that probably top five zoologist for me. Maybe number five or so. Right around there. Like I almost would buy it, but I only have one zoologist full bottle, which is Camel. So it's one that I would buy potentially, but I think they're discontinuing it. Unfortunate, but it's a good clean leather, like light leather, like fresh out the shower. Um, Scent Zoologist Beaver. A little bit of castoreum in there, but just enough to make it interesting. So this maple edition, this is a first impression. Immediately, it's a different fragrance. There's no similarities to the previous Beaver at all. I haven't smelled the first iteration of Beaver, but the second one, this maple edition, is nothing like it. So if you're into vintage fragrances or interesting, challenging, I don't think you're gonna like this. Probably, it's a gourmand. It's designer like in my opinion. Now look, this does have like a maple syrupiness, which is somewhat niche, I would say. Like designers don't really put that in too much, although I feel like they kind of are. Like it's like borderline designer niche to me. I could see like Giorgio Armani releasing this, Carolina Herrera or something like that. But yeah, it's better. It's more interesting. Um, I immediately thought of kerosene followed when I smelled this. I guess the syrup, the maple syrupness, it's not nearly as strong as that. It's that one's ridiculously strong and like straight pancake syrup. This is way better than that. I'm not talking about follow the coffee one. I'm talking about the flanker that followed. But yeah, this one overall I'm getting maple, like slight syrup, but not too breakfasty. Um, a little bit of vetiver, some woodsy note, vanilla. It's amber woody. Maybe a little bit of patchouli. Maybe some powder in there. But it's not like a Celine vanilla powder or anything like that, or a Chanel. I guess because it has like that amber wood in it, it kind of like throws it more into the designer realm and the maple. I feel like this one's going to be popular. It's it's well done. It's mass appealing. Like it's good, don't get me wrong, but it just smells like a lot that's out there, right? Like if this was a designer, I feel like it would be a hit. All right, but as a niche fragrance, it just smells like, I don't know, maybe it's the synthetic aroma chemicals in there with the like sweetened vanilla syrup that it just throws me off. Like it's not something I would buy. I would go with like a diptyque vanilla over this personally, like Oud Zweli or 34 Boulevard, whatever that diptyque is. Although Diptyque raised their prices to 240 USD for a 75 ml, absolutely ridiculous. Considering about a year ago they were like 190 or something, and then a month ago they were 220. They just keep going up. I don't think Diptyque's worth it anymore. But yeah, this one's okay. The previous Beaver was way better in my opinion. The perfumer that made this, Pascal Gurin, I believe, he's a good perfumer. He's an established perfumer. I don't know if he's like a master perfumer or anything like that, but he makes stuff for big brands. He made Calvin Klein Defy, a lot of the Synth Woods. He made Henry Rose, which they have some decent one. Jake's House, I thought was a pretty good, like, aquatic fresh scent. Uh, Torn, I believe. Henry Rose has some decent ones. He actually made a really good fragrance for a brand called Maison de Eto. It's called Noisetta, which ridiculously priced. I think the sample's like $25. I got it on sale, like a vintage sample or something like that. And I think the bottle's like 400, but again, they Maison de Eto sold like their vintage stock for like 70% off or something. For that price, it's a deal, but I heard they didn't come with caps or something. But that Noisetta fragrance is like a really good, high quality lavender and orris fragrance. Kind of like this dusty cabinet, lavender, orris. But anyway, I'm going off track, but that's probably his best work that I've smelled, that Maison de Eto Noisetta. But yeah, Beaver Maple Edition. I can see why they did it. That maple Canadian vibe. And I think this will be a popular one for the brand. It's too designer, sweet, vanilla, syrupy for me. That's just not my thing. But if you like maple fragrances and like syrupy, cozy, sweet vanilla, and you like designers, but you also like niche, like the sweetness, I think you would really like this. But for the mega fragrance enthusiast, I'm not so sure you would like this. This perfumer has another one from Zoologist called Musk Deer. I think that's a little better done. It's like a musky animalic, but for me, that one gets a little too sweet musk for me and like cola territory, but it's still good. But yeah, overall, let me know if you tried the new Zoologist Beaver Maple Edition or if you tried the old one. I actually really like the old one.